Hey, a $20 earphone is a lot of competition, but most of them haven't impressed me. Do the Moondrop Spaceships change my mind? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hi folks, I'm Dave with dbstechtalk, and today we are going to review the Moondrop Spaceship. It's a $20 earphone. It has 16 ohms. It's 104 decibels of sensitivity, has a frequency response of 20 hertz to 40 kilohertz, and it has a 6mm micro dynamic driver. Yes, 6mm. It's teeny tiny. Alright, so the Moondrops come in this very artsy box, and it says Spaceship, and then on the back side you have some very teeny tiny writing. If you can read that, awesomeness. If not, go on the website and look up the specs if you need them. Alright, so you open up the box, and on the inside here you have your spaceships, and then you get a little carrying pouch. You get a little bit of artsy drawings, a little snap, and inside you have a nice pouch. The spaceships fit in it extremely well and very easily. You'll also get a bag of tips. They're all silicone. They all work really well. Did not have a problem with the stock tips. They fit my ears very nicely. You also get some paperwork, nothing too unusual. And you get a warranty card. And then you get your spaceships. Very simple unboxing. The spaceships are extremely small. They are as wide as my thumb. That's insanely crazy. When you take the tip off, you get a little hairdryer look to them. See if we can get it to focus a little bit better here. They are fingerprint magnets. They have an attached cable, and in order to determine which one is which, there is a notch right there. You feel that, and that's your left. They're cool to look at, and very well built, extremely light, but they have the metal shell. They go in your ears and they disappear. They are somewhat of a deeper insertion, and so if you don't like a deeper insertion, these may not be the earphone for you. I find that the stock tips fit okay, but I got a better seal with the RHA dual density tip, which fits on these perfectly and did not have any problems. Sonically, I didn't notice much of a difference at all between the two tips, but I recommend RHA dual densities just because I had a better seal. Isolation is not the best. Probably about 50% of offside noises is isolated out. So you're going to have to crank the volume a little bit if you really want to block out really super loud noises. But they're adequate. I mean, we're talking $20 here. They are exceptional build quality and comfort, and decent on isolation for $20. I have no complaints whatsoever. The cable is very nice for $20. It's rubber. As I said, it's attached. You do get a little bit of a metal split, and then you get a 3.5 with a nice strain relief. Does tangle up a little bit after the split. It'll kind of twist on itself just a little bit, but nothing too worrisome. And I find that the cable has plenty of strain relief going into the earphone itself. Sound wise, for $20, I didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of going back on my history of listening to $20 earphones and IEMs, and I haven't been overly impressed by something at $20. They just tend to be meh. I'd rather spend a few extra bucks and get a little bit better quality. So my expectations were low, and did the Moondrop Spaceship exceed my expectations? These are a mid-forward earphone, and that's really strange, especially for this price point. Normally you find something to be more Harman Target or diffuse field. You don't normally find something that's mid-forward, and I was pleasantly surprised at that. So let's start with the mids. The mids do take the kind of the star of the show, and they are more forward than the bass and the treble. They have nice tonality and a decent timbre. The timbre does have a little bit of a metallic etch to it, but it's not annoying or a nuisance in any way. It's very subtle. You only really notice it in the upper mids region, and more with female vocals and with strings and woodwinds. The vocals that the Moondrop Spaceship present are very lush and romantic, have a little bit of a warmth to them, and they're very relaxing, and it just sounds like the vocalist is very close by. I really do enjoy the vocal presentation. The rest of the mids sound very natural and just have a good presentation. It just is very engaging. The isolation and separation of instruments is very well done. You can pick apart where each and every instrument is and where it's placed within the soundstage. The intimacy is a little much there, though it's a little bit closer than I would like, but it's not bad for a $20 IEM or earphone, excuse me. And I really do find the mids to be very pleasant. Detail retrieval is lacking a little bit of refinement and resolution. You don't get every single detail, but you're not missing the major ones. It's just kind of you might not get the minute ones that you'll get on a higher, more resolving earphone. The bass is very fun on the Spaceship. It has decent depth and decent detail retrieval. Again, just like the mids, it's not the best detail retrieval out there and available, but we are talking a $20 6mm micro driver earphone, and for the price and for the quality of the driver, it does a very good job. I really do enjoy the bass. It keeps me engaged, keeps me thumping and toe tapping, and has enough isolation and separation of instruments that it doesn't sound bloated or bloomy in any way. And overall, I just find the bass to be very pleasing and very well done, even though it does take a back seat to the mids. Treble is nicely portrayed. It's laid back and smooth, but has enough energy and sparkle in it and enough air to keep you engaged and to bring in details and not to sound stuffy. I find that the Moondrop Spaceships have just about the right amount of treble in this price point. A lot of times in this price point, the treble will be too peaky, too sharp, too sibilant, and that is not the case whatsoever on the Spaceships. I find that the Spaceships are very well controlled and have decent details, and the resolution is actually better than most in the price point. Soundstage, in fact, it's better than a lot of more expensive earphones and IEMs. The soundstage, as I said, is intimate. It's a little bit close and in your head, but it has good isolation and separation of instruments. It does lack depth and layering, but you can tell where everything is, and everything flows across the stage. It's not gapped out or spaced out wonkily in any wonkily. That's a new word. It doesn't have any wonkiness to it in the soundstage. It's just not the widest, but I find that it does a good job of portraying what is out there. The imaging can be a little bit off. Sometimes things that are to the side of you will sound a little farther back behind you or more in front of you. It's not always the best and most precise imaging. I found that these were okay for watching movies and videos. Didn't really like them for gaming. I found that I was not getting the proper spatial cues that I was looking for gaming. So overall, the Moondrop Spaceships sound is just, it's a nice, warm, intimate, and mid-forward sound signature that has enough bass and treble to keep me happy and to not sound dark, but not to sound too bright. It plays well with all dongles that I have, which are the X-Duo Link, the ADV Access Port Lite, and the Razer DAC amp. And then it played very well on the Pioneer XDP-30R and also on the HiFiMan Mega Mini. Did not have any complaints whatsoever as far as sound coming out of any of those, and they were very easy to drive, usually only at about 40% of volume or less, was plenty loud. So the Moondrop Spaceships, did they exceed my expectations for a $20 earphone? Absolutely. I would take these over a VK4 in a heartbeat, and I would even take these over a lot of other IEMs, reaching upwards to $30-$40. So I would actually probably find myself pulling these out versus the Blon BL-03 and the Blon BL-05. The Blons do some things a little bit better, but I find that the Moondrop Spaceships are just more pleasant to listen to and an overall just more enjoyable experience than the Blons. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, somewhere on the screen is a subscription link and notification bell. If you haven't already, please check those off, and then check out the links down below for links to the products talked about in this review, and also for Patreon, PayPal, Subscribestar, all kinds of other stuff, playlists, you name it, it's down there. Check it out. Thanks, and have yourself a great day.